The apartment was quieter than it should have been. The ceiling light flickered rhythmically, and water dripped with a persistent thud from a tightly closed tap. In the corner sat a black cat, not looking at me, but staring intensely at something standing right behind me. It is in that moment you realize you aren't alone. A presence haunts the space with you, invisible, untouchable, yet undeniably there. It breathes near you, watching in a silence that feels heavy. This entity needs no door to enter, nor a ritual to appear. All it needs is one single connection. This journey into madness began 2 weeks ago at 1 a.m. I was sitting in my ground floor apartment, my place of work and residence, sipping coffee and smoking a cigarette. My friend, Osama, had been with me since 10 p.m. As the night grew deeper, the conversation took a dark turn. Osama asked me in a hushed tone, "Milo, have you ever heard of number 504? I joked, asking if he meant the old Peugeot car model. But he didn't laugh. He looked around the room and whispered, "This is no joke. People say that through this number, you can communicate with the jinn. They say if you call it, they begin to appear after midnight, moving around you, talking to you, and delivering terrifying warnings." I laughed it off. "Do the jinn have a telecommunications company now?" I asked. "They are everywhere. We know this. But calling them on a phone is pure nonsense." Osama shook his head, looking troubled. "Maybe, but the details people share are too specific to ignore. I'm too afraid to even try it." At 2 a.m., Osama left. As soon as the door clicked shut, curiosity began to gnaw at me. I opened Google and searched for the number. To my shock, I found hundreds of stories from people claiming the exact same experiences. My rational mind told me to stop, but the darkness of the room made the mystery more enticing. I lay in bed, turned on my bedside lamp, and thought, what's the worst that could happen? I dialed 504. An automated voice told me the number was invalid. I laughed, tossed my phone aside, and fell asleep. Suddenly, I was jolted awake by my phone ringing. I ignored it twice, but on the third time, I checked the screen. My heart stopped. The caller ID was 504. The phone was vibrating with an unnatural intensity. I answered with a trembling voice. "Who is this?" Silence. Absolute, heavy silence. I hung up. It rang again. This time, I heard a sound that chilled me to the bone. The sound of water gushing violently, as if someone had turned a faucet on to full blast right next to the microphone. Then, the line went dead. The moment I put my head back on the pillow, I heard it. The actual sound of rushing water coming from my bathroom. I ran there to find the tap wide open. I shut it off, my mind racing. As I turned to leave, I saw my mother standing in the hallway. Startled, I asked, "What are you doing here?" I thought the water turned on by itself. "When did you come down?" She didn't say a word. She walked past me into the living room and vanished. I ran upstairs to her apartment, only to find her fast asleep. She swore the next morning she hadn't left her bed all night. The next night, the nightmare intensified. My brother, Islam, had asked me to turn off the water pump in the ventilation shaft the man wore before bed. I went into that pitch black space with my phone's flashlight. I heard a scratching sound from above. I tilted my light up and saw a large, black shape clinging to the drainage pipes, moving slowly. I tried to tell myself it was just a plastic bag, but I knew deep down that bags don't move with such intent. Back in my room, I woke up to scratching sounds inside the walls. I checked under the bed. Nothing. Then, the phone rang. 504. I answered. All I heard was heavy, labored panting. "Who are you? What do you want?" I whispered. The breathing grew louder, more aggressive. Suddenly, a violent knock thundered on my bedroom door, and the call cut off. The door creaked, opened slowly. No one was there. I hid under my covers, shivering. Then the phone rang again. This time, the heavy panting wasn't just coming from the phone. It was coming from inside my wardrobe. I opened the wardrobe with shaking hands. It was empty, but the sound stopped instantly. By the third night, a foul stench filled the apartment. I found a strange, viscous substance on the floor in several places. Then, the black cat appeared again, staring at me with cold, calculating eyes. I chased it out, and it stood on the stairs, watching me from the shadows before disappearing. Suddenly, the Quran broadcast playing in the background began to distort and then cut out completely. The power died. In the absolute darkness, I saw a human face peering at me from the bathroom hallway. I felt someone, or something, walking right behind me. My phone lit up the dark. It was 504 calling. I rejected the call, and instantly, the lights and the audio returned. It has been 2 weeks now. I am sharing this as a warning. The number does not appear in my call logs, as if it never existed in our world. But I know a door was open that night, and as I finish telling you this, my phone is vibrating. It's him. 504 is calling again. It seems the story isn't over.